I'm Sanavi Shaw, and you're watching me on YouTube and Facebook Live. Today we are going to talk about twin flame, twin flame journey, soulmates, how to find your twin flame, and the difference between twin flame and the soulmate. We had one live on twin flame, and at the end of the live, we decided that we just barely scratched the surface, and we should bring someone who is familiar with twin flame. And luckily, we find someone, a twin flame counselor, and he is going to educate us and enlighten us about the twin flame. I'm sorry if there was some. And twin flame. Twin flame is a spiritual, self-conscious, and divine connection. It allows twin flame to see a reflection of themselves within each other. And twin flame, it is a two-way journey. It is a growing connection. Twin flame are always running and chasing each other. It is not like it is not something that that you are the one who is chasing your twin flame and the other is not responding. It is an intensity and emotional. They are both side on both sides, and the twin flame journey and how they find each other and how people misunderstand twin flame with the soulmate. And that's what we are going to discuss today. And my first guest is Ariella Strauss, and he has joined us from the US, and he is a twin flame counselor. And my second guest is Jackie McGraw. He has joined us from Gold Coast, Victoria, Australia. And third
Queensland.
guest is yeah, and third guest is Gary Mark. He is a phytoaromacologist and he has joined us from Alberta, Canada. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Great.
So
Better
I'm
with
gonna
the
start
headset.
with yes, yes, put it on. And now I'm gonna start with Ariela's first. Ariela, how would you define, or I know there could be many definitions or many ways to describe and define the twin flame connection. Then how would you define it, and how would you define this connection? How do you describe it? The feelings. I know it's difficult, but
Great. Well, thank you, first of all, for having me on the show with a great panel. I love the
mm-hmm,
discussions. For me, I discovered my twin flame 2 years ago, and
hey
I'm already
Paul. Mhm. Okay,
yes,
Paul is here.
yeah,
Mhm,
and I'm already married to a soulmate. Since we
mhm,
got more than one.
mhm,
Twin flames for me. I'll be honest. In the beginning, I was falling for, I guess, the false information. Like it had to be romantic. It had to be this.
mhm,
And the more I learned on these 2 years, and still learning, the more I'm
mhm,
learning. It's more to me. My experience is a spiritual experience, and twin flames can be platonic, not just
mhm,
romantic. So in my case, it's a platonic and
mhm,
more of, again, a spiritual connection. It's very high energy. I think twin flames, if you want to use another name, they are your yin and yang.
mhm,
And again, it's just very different. It's very high energy, if I could just put it that way, and nobody could replicate that.
mhm. When you say platonic, what do you mean by that? Because I'm just learning it.
You asked about the platonic?
Yes.
Okay. Platonic is another word for you could just be friends, or they could be a mentor and help
Mhm,
you in on your mission or on your journey. For example, I'm an author. My twin
mhm,
flame is an actor. It's just a profession. He's not
mhm,
above anyone else.
mhm,
Definitely not in not with the soul connection. But
mhm,
he helped to not only inspire, anybody could inspire your
mhm,
work, and doesn't necessarily mean twin flames, but he has helped me look inside myself. Like it's like that mirror. He helped me face things I didn't want to see, But on the other hand, he helped me in a spiritual way become a better, help my creativity, if I could put it that way. And I haven't physically met him as of yet, but we do know of each other, and he is aware of me. He also loves my books, and I also help him a long way from what his management said. But again, platonic is, you could be friends. You don't have to be romantically linked as far as in the 3D.
Now I'm gonna move to Jackie. Jackie, I was reading a post on some groups on Facebook, and there was a girl, and she was talking about that I'm just blocking my twin flame, and my twin flame is not answering me. And uh, the whole post was about he was running after him, and he was blocking him, and people were commenting that he's not your twin flame, and she said no, he's not ready to settle down. It's a very different age, and we were connected, and we have different kind of connections. And I was, while reading through comments, there were hundreds of comments and very lengthy posts. And while going through it, and I realized that people are misinterpreting the soulmate and the twin flame. How do you see it?
Well, we discussed this last time, and it's really good to touch on
Mhm,
it again before we get into
mhm,
this conversation.
mhm,
Soulmates to me come together in all aspects. You can be from previous lifetime connections, and you've
mhm,
just got to meet them again in this lifetime to learn more from them. You're separate souls, but you come together to learn a lot of new things together,
mhm,
and challenges, and to overcome challenges. With the twin
mhm,
flames, there's two ways, as we saw last time.
mhm,
Gary sees it looking within yourself and having those two aspects within yourself, the lighter side, the darker side, which is,
mhm,
as Ariella was saying, the yin and the yang, and the
mhm,
masculine, feminine, and
mhm,
and those challenges it brings.
mhm,
I also see it as like two, from what I was reading to, and the Hinduism version as well, is
mhm,
that the soul separates into two and inhabits
mhm,
two separate bodies. When those two come together, like Ariella was
mhm,
saying, like
mhm,
there's either chaos because you're not quite ready for it, or
mhm,
there's this amazing magical union where you just see each other as, just that growth, really magical,
mhm,
and
mhm,
helping each other to grow, and those two souls that reunite together to make the
mhm,
one soul, which it was originally. So they
mhm,
complement each other, and just help you to raise really high. I'd be interested to see what Ariella says about this,
mhm,
to in with her relationship with her twin flame,
mhm,
and whether you just complement each other so much that it's just raising your vibration continually, and you want the best for each other. You're growing and you're learning, and it brings out all those aspects
mhm,
in you that you need to challenge yourself to grow, but
mhm,
it's in a way that it's nurturing. It's not in a, oh, you're a pain in the ass kind of thing, and you need to work
mhm,
on this. It's like,
mhm,
let's explore this feeling. Let's see where it
mhm,
goes. Let's develop
mhm,
it, so that we're here for our greatest, highest good. That to me is a twin flame. So it's much more stronger and powerful and magical than a soulmate, which is transitory to me, to learn certain lessons.
mhm. Now, Gary, I love the idea of twin flame that it complements the twin flame. They complement each other, and it's a self-growing, and they grow. They both grow each other, and it's a beautiful connection. How do you see the growth of it, and how would you describe it? I know it's difficult because it's just feeling there, things that you can feel and you can. It's a sensation, and it's difficult to describe and discuss these things and discuss these topics.
Well, one of the things that I look at
Mhm.
is that, as Jackie mentioned, is the twin
Mhm.
flame is this reignition or
Mhm.
reuniting of the flame within you. You're masculine,
Mhm.
you're feminine. So you become whole, you become one.
Mhm.
When you meet somebody that is in the identical vibration that connects with you, this
Mhm.
other flame becomes the mirror of you. So
Mhm.
the mirror of you is now the challenge. Is this
Mhm.
twin flame going to follow the same path? Or is there going to be two different paths that are going to challenge each other to arrive at another path? Okay.
Mhm.
The idea of, twin flames separating and, into two different entities. Well, God didn't separate our souls. Okay. And I
Mhm.
don't believe that our souls have been separated no matter which way, whatever belief there's going to be. Having a number of experiences in my life with, yes, soulmates, and then
Mhm.
those that ignited me beyond the essence of a soulmate. You can have a million soulmates in
Mhm.
a million timelines.
Mhm.
You've shared a space, a time, a moment. It could have been
Mhm.
romantic. It could
Mhm.
have been conflicting. Okay, there's a number of variations of this essence of the soulmate. Okay, but the twin flame is the one that, for me, once you've risen from your shadows, your demons,
Mhm.
okay, you've now connected to this heart fire, the
Mhm.
phoenix within you. You've risen from the ashes. You've done the work. You are now
Mhm.
with one. You're
Mhm.
now ready to meet somebody or another that is within that pathway for a short period of time or
Mhm.
for the rest of that life. Is it going
Mhm.
to be romantic? Maybe
Mhm.
not. Maybe it's going to be your best friend. The question is it only restricted to humans?
Mhm.
I have twin flame connections with my koi fish. Believe me.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
it's not because my there's going to be a woman in my life. No, I
Mhm.
have connections with animals. I have connections
Mhm.
with trees. I have connection with Gaia. If I want to
Mhm.
look at the truth of where my twin flame is,
Mhm.
my feet are connected to her. Okay, for
Mhm.
me, she's the greatest woman of all. She is the magic of all life, and this is
Mhm.
my connection. This is
Mhm.
my way of saying things. Now, again, I don't go into this aspect of all of the philosophies and let's prepare you for your twin flame journey, let's prepare you for this. When you're ready. When you're ready,
Mhm.
your energy is well with you, you're
Mhm.
walking well with your truth, you're walking well with self-love. If you have no
Mhm.
self-love, there's going to be no twin flame that's going to want to share space with you other than maybe burning you, so to speak.
Mhm. What about you said you have connection with nature and the fish? What about us? The connection we have. What about the connection you have? We have with myself and with Jackie. Aren't we the
Hmm.
twin flames?
So ask yourself a question first.
Mhm.
Do you
Mhm.
believe in past lives?
Mhm.
Okay, so if you believe in past lives,
Mhm.
how many past lives could you possibly have had?
Mhm.
One, two, three? Or maybe you're one of the ancient of the oldest souls. So how many eons has gone by that you have played out a story, that you've
Mhm.
crossed with paths with another?
Mhm.
Hassan, we could have passed 100 times in a
Mhm.
previous lifespan. Because one
Mhm.
of the things is we're connecting on more of a soul level than we are connecting on a intellectual level. It's the same
Mhm.
thing with you, Jackie.
Mhm.
Maybe, maybe in Egypt, you were
Mhm.
walking as a high priestess.
Mhm.
Maybe you have to do that journey to see where are you? Where have you been? Where
Mhm.
have you walked? How many people have you crossed? Is it maybe not even a person? Maybe you crossed a godlike figure that was a panther, or you had a connection with an elephant, as an example. Somebody will say, well, how
Mhm.
can I have a soulmate connection with an elephant? Uh,
Mhm.
you can, because spirit within us, soul within us, we're all connected. This is
Mhm.
my philosophy, working with, the shamanism, working with Gaia, working with the earth, working with the cosmos, is that we're
Mhm.
all connected in this channel or this energy field of the highest frequency. It's a
Mhm.
frequency of love.
Yeah,
Nothing,
and I
nothing
agree.
can quash that.
Yes, I agree, and we all of us are connected at the conscious level, and this energy of the universe it connects them all. Gary, you have been talking about soulmates. Now I'm gonna pose a question to Ariella, and Ariella, how do you differentiate between the soulmates and the twin flame? Because many people misinterpret it, and they soulmates to me, if you ask me, soulmates to me is a romantic connection, and the twin flame is a spiritual connection. And uh, to me, it's my way of seeing it. And how do you? It doesn't mean yeah, spiritual connection in twin flame. They can be romantic, but from defining it, they have a spiritual connection, and soulmates have the romantic connection in a simple way of saying it.
Right. Yeah, let me try to answer the question then, along
Mhm,
with what Jackie was wondering and what Gary was said. So I'm trying to loop
mhm,
in all the answers.
mhm,
Um, to me, my belief, my experience is if you're looking at a ladder, that
mhm,
twin flames are the highest level or the highest step
mhm,
of soulmates, but not all
mhm,
soulmates are like Gary said, we have more than one soulmate. Not all of them are
mhm,
your twin flames. I believe that for me personally, and things could change down the road later, like for those that believe in more than one twin flame, I'm like, well, if it happens, I have to experience for my own, but I like if it happened to you, that's your journey, your walk.
mhm,
And you know, and I support them. But for me, I believe twin flames is the highest level of soulmates. But you are
mhm,
right. Soulmates, again, growing up because of movies and everything, I thought soulmates were all romantic. Again, I'm
mhm,
married going on 22 years with one of my soulmates, but
mhm,
I've met other soulmates throughout my lifetime that were not romantic, but they were
mhm,
like, and that word, I guess what confuses people is the mate.
mhm,
But
Mm-hmm.
they have worked with me, whether it be a best friend, a female
mhm,
friend, and we weren't romantically involved, but they stood by my side. But the
mhm,
difference between all them and my twin flame is that energetic level that he's because not it's not just age thing because here at least in this lifetime he's 8 years older than me, so it's like I don't say he's putting me in my place, but he's reminding me, hey, you need to look deep down within. And I
mhm,
honestly thought, why couldn't my husband do that? And
mhm,
it was not my husband. I don't want to say job, but it wasn't my husband's place. It was this other
mhm,
person to bring out that energy. Gary,
mhm,
I believe with you along the lines with the souls. I grew up in a Christian background. I believe that personally that we all have our own soul, but I also believe with what Jackie's saying is that I think
mhm,
she's what I'm learning. My experience is what we share with the twin flames is that essence. That
mhm,
again, that energy that could only be shared between the twin flames that soulmates or other people can't
mhm,
share. That's again my personal belief. So it is separate with the soulmates and twin flames, but I'll share a family friend of mine who's a medicine woman, and
mhm,
I'm 1/8 Cherokee, so I'm very into the Native American beliefs and
mhm,
past lives. And Gary, my guides, my angels, just notified me last week that
mhm,
I've had past lives the past 10,000 years. Am I an old
Mm-hmm.
soul? Maybe. I don't
mhm,
know how many past lives I've had, but I do know
mhm,
my twin flame, as far as subconsciously, that they're allowing me to see, has been on my journey out of, because I don't believe twin flames join each material lifetime, but he's been on my, with me at least 10,000 years. So we've had many journeys. But I don't want to get off track, but my experience again is that energetic connection. And uh,
mhm,
so the medicine woman told what my friend told me. And
mhm,
again, she doesn't believe in the twin flame label, but she believes in the energy aspect. She said, I said, why am I drawn to this guy? I'm married. I was given all the excuses. He's not my
mhm,
celebrity crush. And she was
mhm,
laughing. She's like, he was your soulmate from your past lives. He's your yin and yang, but non romantic in this one. And so I'm like, whoa. So that's to me, to sum it up, is that I believe the twin flames are the highest level of soulmates. But again, not
mhm.
every soulmate is your twin flame, as
Yeah.
was brought up. So I'll release it back to you.
Okay. Not everyone is your twin flame. You can have many soulmates. You can have many twin flame. You can have many soulmates, but not every soulmate is your twin flame. Is an excellent way of saying it. Now, how to find your twin flame, and how do you know that you have found your twin flame, not the soulmate? Because uh, it starts with a connection, that with understanding and with the feeling that you start seeing the reflection of yourself in the other person. And how do you know that? How do you know that whether it's your twin flame or the soulmates?
So is the question directed at me first? I'm just making
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for asking that. Again,
Mm-hmm.
with my twin flame, with his profession, I've seen him many times on screen before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to give his name, but I will tell you he's British Indian.
Mm-hmm.
And now I shared with you guys, but public, I'm keeping him safe and everything.
Okay.
He's very private. I
Mm-hmm.
was watching on one of the streaming channels. I came across this TV show, one of his TV shows, or a couple of them on Netflix and on Hulu. And at first, I wasn't looking. I was like, saw all the cast members from one of the shows, and he just inspired me. It was his energy, something about him, and his screen work just inspired me. Where I was able to write my fantasy fiction books,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "What?" So basically, I guess it was like me learning about him first. It wasn't an exact like you look at the person and wham, it hits you. It took a good
Mm-hmm.
3 months, and
Mm-hmm.
what did it for me is how I knew I didn't know the term twin flames until 6 months later. But
Mm-hmm.
we had that, I felt that energetic connection after I watched his stuff, after I saw his photos. I'm like, what is it about this guy
Mm-hmm.
that it was different than I guess if you have a crush on somebody else, whether it's a celebrity crush or just a person you cross paths with saying, hey, that person's not bad looking. It was where okay, so time went on, and after I published my book and sent it to him, and I'm trying to use the right words here. In my profession, I'm not a medium, but I do see people that pass over. I do see the spirits. So I'm very into both worlds. I have my foot in both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So when he appeared to me, I guess manifested, his spirit came to me where I physically saw him. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know if you follow TV shows, but the Netflix show Sense8, that's a good
Mm-hmm.
twin flame thing right there. It's like I
Mm-hmm.
saw him without him physically being in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And when we locked eyes, my heart chakra opened, it felt like my soul exploded, where an electric went from my head to my toes, and it was like deep in my bones,
Mm-hmm.
burning sensation, but not where it'll harm you.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the doctor and everything, they said you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, it wasn't a bad thing, so it was not a medical condition. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I knew that connection is when it started. And then later I got confirmed through my friend the medicine woman about that connection. But is when his spirit visited me and helped me along my spiritual walk open my other gifts, which have been suppressed for 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's helped, I don't say he's not a guide, but he's helped me along. And um, come to find out later in the physical realm, I kept meeting friends of his online. He's not on social media, but I kept meeting friends of his. And one of them actually reached out to him, and that's how I heard back from him saying how he liked my stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
just different things happened where it wasn't your average normal. It was more of, I couldn't explain it. It was a supernatural experience. And the thing is, I guess, coming with the twin flame thing,
Mm-hmm.
it moved me to the point where I was, again, my soul was shook, and I had my Kundalini awakening, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to ask Gary this, and maybe we could bring it up, or Jackie. Is it's one thing dreaming about people, but I'm not talking about like just, those fantasy dreams, but he's been in my dream ever since he visited or manifested. He's been in my dreams for 2 years, if not every night, almost every week, except for a break in the fall time when I had to do some growing. And he's more like guiding me or just being there, like, hey, I'm still around on the spiritual level. I don't know if he's awakened in a 3D with his 5D self, because he's
Mhm.
very, with his career, he's very blocked and very private.
Mhm.
But that's my experience. So again, it's more of a spiritual level, and it's soul changing. And again, I don't want to discredit my husband. He's a wonderful man, but
Mhm.
when we met, I did not have that soul shaken experience to
Mhm.
what my twin flame has done. So that's my
Mhm.
experience. So it helped me grow. And my ego was like, I don't want to grow. I'm good. He's like, no,
Mhm.
you need to do this. So
Mhm.
that's my experience so far.
Mhm. Your twin flame allows
Wow.
you to grow and complement your strengths, and it's beautiful. And now I'll move to Jackie. How you uh, how do you think that we meet and how do you think that we find our soulmate or twin flame?
Can I firstly just say that I'm loving this conversation? It's
Mm-hmm.
so interesting. And what I think too is we all have slightly different we'll have
Ways of
slightly
approaching.
different points of view where we're
Mm-hmm.
coming from, and none of them are right or wrong. This is just
Mm-hmm.
our sense of what we feel inside
Mm-hmm.
resonates with us. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
between soulmates and twin flames, I know there is some sort of distinction through
Mm-hmm.
different things, and what Ariel is saying,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that almost being struck by lightning.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I imagine it. Um, and what Gary was saying with the animals and trees, like I've hugged a tree and just not wanted to leave it because I've just felt like, oh my gosh, if I break this connection,
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it. I just want to hug this tree forever because it just feels amazing, So, and my animals, one of my cats is just she is just such a gift in my life. I can't get enough of her, So what do you how do you distinguish this twin flame or soulmates or whatever? But I think you know who you learn the most from, like who just brings your life up to another level and keeps
Mm-hmm.
going up a level, a level, a level. Just
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't stop. So, and you're happy to engage in that and to get that feedback and that critique and that exploration between the two of you to grow is
Mm-hmm.
my definition of like a twin flame. And how do you go about finding that? I don't think you go
Mm-hmm.
looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just something that, we talk about synchronicities, your soulmates come together for that. There's a lot of synchronicities, I know with relationships I've had, like for you to come together, there's sometimes a lot of things that happen, you might have even lived close together when you were young and you find out little things like that. And it's taken, 20 years for you to actually bump into each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you go looking for these things. They do.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just come to you when you're ready for particular lessons in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Geez, and I've had some lessons, I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. You've
We
got to take
all
the
we
good with
all
the
have
bad, right?
we all have lessons.
Yeah. And the twin flames, wow, I don't know. I don't know that you get them in every lifetime, unless
Mm-hmm.
of course, it's that relationship with yourself, like Gary says, that one within you that you're always trying to grow and explore and try to be a better person.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've all got our own little points of view, and like I guess serendipity will bring you to that point, of meeting these particular people, and like with Ariella saying that you have this connection, and I have had that with a few people. I don't think I would call them twin flames, but maybe
Mm-hmm.
as we're describing it
Soulmates.
now, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a soulmate. Oh, it's not even that. It's like Ariella says, you can touch someone, you have this
Mm-hmm.
electricity like through your
Mm-hmm.
whole body, and you
Mm-hmm.
just go, oh my God, what is this about? Or
Mm-hmm.
just someone that that you have a lot to learn from, if you
Mm-hmm.
allow yourself, because as I was saying earlier, like it can be a really chaotic relationship or it can be a really nurturing relationship, depending on whether you're ready for it or not. So
Mhm,
Ariella obviously is ready for this twin flame relationship because, as she says,
mhm,
she's learning so much from it and getting so much.
mhm,
It's nurturing her and she's growing and
mhm,
becoming a better person for it. And I just really admire you for that because, you know, anyone that we meet, sometimes we're threatened by it or we have all our own insecurities coming in. Oh,
mhm,
now they're making me look at this. Now I feel like crap and shit. But if you take the time to actually look at those aspects of yourself and bring them out and explore them and love them for what they are, because they're all a part of you. So
mhm,
just to allow that all to happen. I don't know. Maybe we can put ads in the paper, Asan. You know, try and find my
mhm,
twin flame. I don't know.
mhm,
I just think it's when it's right, it's going to come to you. If
mhm,
it's this lifetime, the next
mhm,
lifetime, because you know,
mhm,
time's not of any significance.
mhm,
Of course, as we know, it's just a
mhm,
man-made construct. So
mhm,
it'll come when it's ready. And, you know,
mhm,
in the meantime, we'll just maybe look, like Gary says, the twin flame within ourselves and just try and, you know, be objective
mhm,
and look at ourselves and bring all that up and just remove ourselves, detach ourselves from ourselves and look at it from the outside and see where
mhm,
this person, this soul can grow from. How
mhm,
much can I grow this being in this lifetime? You
mhm.
know, and
Now,
yeah, to be a better person, make a better world. As
mhm.
such, it's a bit corny, isn't it?
I
Mm.
like I like the idea that these are just all the words that we have given to different feelings and different the thing that we experiences. It's just a connection and energy uh, that there is that you feel it at certain point, and you're feeling it. It means that this just happened, and the words could have meaning, and they have meanings, but they are the meaning that we have given to them. But the main idea behind them is the energy and connection you have. And when you have it, whether it's a soulmate or twin flame, you would feel it, you would start feeling it. And now I'm going to a question to Gary. Can you have a romantic relationship with your twin flame, or it's just a spiritual connection?
I think you can have both, but let's
Mhm,
each of us has a different perspective, different truths. We see things differently, and what we understand about a soulmate and about a twin
mhm,
flame. In fact, if
mhm,
we step back 24 months ago, very
mhm,
few of us talked about twin flames. I mean, it
mhm,
was non-existent. Okay, and a
mhm,
lot of
Mm,
a lot of hoopla comes up
mm-hmm,
with this about preparing you to
mhm,
find your twin flame. You
mhm,
don't find a twin flame. Okay,
mhm,
you don't. If you're going to try and find one, you're going to end up with
mhm,
something that's going to burn you. Truly,
mhm,
okay. Believe me, it will
mhm,
burn you. Okay, because now you're in this mind projection. You're
mhm,
not in projection of heart
attachment.
and
mhm,
attachment. Yes,
mhm,
but I come back to what is the essence of a human. Let's just
mhm,
go a little bit more in depth here of what a human is. We are beings of
mhm,
energy. We are
mhm,
electromagnetic frequency. We
mhm,
attract and we repel. So when we meet an opposing energy, it can be a magnet or
mhm,
it can be something that we push away. Okay.
mhm,
So in the essence of coming back to the term twin flame, one of the things that I've learned, and I wholeheartedly believe is that in order to be in the essence of oneness, it is to
mhm,
balance the duality within you. When you
mhm,
balance this duality within you, you're not looking for anything. Believe
mhm,
me, you're well with yourself. You don't need somebody to live with. You don't need somebody to, you know, help you education or help you in anything. But what you
mhm,
do find when you connect with that ideal, with another flame, is
mhm,
that you find an existence above all. You, you,
mhm,
you sense it. You sense a connection. You don't even have to touch them. You sense it. You
mhm,
feel it. You know it. There's
mhm,
no thought process. The heart has come forward and said, I know you. I've met you before. I've been with you before. I could have been with you 1,000 times. I know your smell. I know your energy. I know your walk. Okay? This essence of a flame, the twin flame, is, let's throw that out. Just throw that off to the side. Okay? Let's throw soulmates off to the side. Let's put together connection. What happens when we connect with another being of energy? It can be a spark, and it's boom. It's for one evening. And the following morning, that's over. Okay, and it can be another spark that says, "Ooh, I'm uncomfortable here. Why? Why am I feeling like this? Why is my heart vibrating? Well, like why is the seat of my pants on fire? It's like, eh, what's going on here? And are we ready for this? Well, the physical side of our pheromonal connection says, let's do this. Okay? Isn't that what usually happens? We meet, then it passes on. Okay? But this essence of a connection beyond touch, beyond thought, it brings you together. You feel something that has taken your energy to a whole other level. You feel not just more alive, but you feel a higher vibration. You feel an amplification of your own energy that is now amplified. Okay? The mere thought of that person amplifies you. Okay? The mere essence of just a spark in time says, wow, who is this magical being? Okay, you're questioning. Okay, your mind is in the mind, excuse the expression, the mind fuckery, everything that's been programmed. Okay, but your heart is speaking to you. Your heart is saying something. It knows truth. But what if your soulmate or your twin flames, whatever term you want to use, doesn't exist on this plane, on this earth? What if it exists in the cosmos? What if it exists in another multi-universe? Is it a possibility? Sure it is. As energetic beings, and having crossed over and knowing what that energetic being is, I'm not just here, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere where energy exists. And when I connect with another like-minded energy, I amplify. And I become more powerful. I become more loving. I become more generous with myself. Even if that person is on the other side of the face of the continent. Okay? There's a connection that's been felt. There's a connection that's been reunited. And it's something that says, now I understand life. Because life is living in this frequent evolution. And this essence of love is letting the other voluntarily evolve. You let them be who they need to be. They complement you. So is this a soulmate? Is it a twin flame? Let's say it's a reconnection of a love lost. That doesn't mean that it's underneath my sheets. Okay?
Or we can say it's a reconnection of yourself.
Can be, yes, because the mirror of me is in that other person. I see myself. I hear myself. In fact, I can have a conversation without having a conversation. I know the thoughts. I feel the emotion from afar. I don't have to connect to them. I don't have to, they don't have enough telephone. I've just connected to them. Okay, I feel them. And it makes me feel much more stronger, much more empowered, much more purposeful in the life that I'm leading. I choose to live a life to understand the essence of love of all life. That's my philosophy. I connect to the animals, the aves, the trees. I connect to a flower. You should see me have a romantic interlude with a flower. You would think that I'm crazy. But if you had seen this morning when I walked out into my backyard space, the very first rose, it bloomed. And I cried. I cried. I came home today and 5 more roses bloomed. I cried again. Why? Because that connection of life, that essence of that flower, brought me in recognition of self-love, of self-purpose, of actually saying, you know what? I planted that 10 years ago. And look at the gift that it's brought me. So, do I need another human to connect on a soul level, or do I connect to all humans, to all life? And if I pass one that amplifies me, that makes me vibrate beyond vibration,
Mhm.
if that's a soulmate, then so be it. But maybe it's just another being of energy that we know each other and that we were separated in another timeline, and we come
Mhm.
together to find each other again.
Mhm. Now, uh, I like the idea. Yeah, you said a very interesting thing about energy, and I've been using the word energy, and you said electromagnetic, and it's like a magnet thing, whether it's going to attract or repel. If it attracts, and if the connection you are feeling and the energy you are feeling is on the both sides, then it means you are on the right track. If it is not, then it's not something that you go out and look for it. It just happens. And that's what I think the twin flame and the soulmate connection is all about. And as you said, you can have many soulmates, but you not all of your soulmates are the twin flame. And now, yeah, let's conclude this. And Ariella, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah. So my final thoughts are
Mhm.
don't, even though it's surprising, again, I agree with
Mhm.
Gary and with Jackie, you can't go looking for
Mhm.
your connection. I wasn't
Mhm.
looking. It just happened that it was at the right time in my life that
Mhm.
this connection occurred. So my final thoughts are, first of all, beware of these false teachers trying to say that they could promise union. No one but the creator, the
Mhm.
divine, could promise physical union if that's going to happen at all. You can't pay
Mhm.
for it. And I'm just putting it out there, beware of people taking advantage of that.
Mhm.
Second of all, and again, I learned with this process, with this energy, don't be afraid of it. I've learned to let it flow through me. Like sometimes his energy is so intense. Now I do have to block certain things. Like if he's picking up negative energy on the go throughout his day, and it filters over to me, I don't need any of that. So I'm learning to balance it out. But for me, don't be afraid of your twin flame, because again, my experience is they are a part of us, and we all come together. And I like to say, Gary, what you brought up about having connections with humans worldwide. My twin flame said that in an interview with one of his shows. He's like, they said, what, I think the question is like, if you could be connected to anybody in the world. He's like, well, I want to be, and he's talking about his castmates. Like, I'm connected to those right here, but he's like, we're really connected to people worldwide, aren't we? Or throughout the world. I
Mhm.
can't remember his exact words, but it's basically
Mhm.
saying what you're saying. We're connected whether we know it or not, and it's energy
Mhm.
flowing through. So again, just my conclusion is, just take your journey a little at a time. It's not to be rushed, and don't go chasing after them, because physically or spiritually, because you don't want to, I guess, push back or mess up the line more. I guess more than we do already. But yeah. So just take your time, and just but be cautious as well. Like what Gary said, like different people you meet, like sometimes you get this energy, like I don't want to be around you. But so be aware. But just I guess as far as myself, I don't need to be afraid it anymore, because I'm getting used to his energy, and he's a part of me. I'll just put it that way.
Hmm. Jackie.
Uh, Jackie, your final thoughts. It's an
I,
energy that's part of
I
you.
love this
Mhm.
conversation.
Mhm.
Yeah, what Gary was saying and earlier, and yourself, Hassan, we're all,
Mhm.
if we go back to other conversations that we've had previously, the
Mhm.
whole universe, cosmos, for however far it extends, is all energy, basically,
Mhm.
all of it. And so we're all a part of
Mhm.
each other. And whether we're just on this, and we come down onto this, in my belief, onto this planet, in this body, to express ourselves. That energy needs some sort of expression. So we come down to express ourselves, and we're all part of each other. And I've said this before as well, you know, if you keep looking at each person as an extension of yourself, and you'll learn so much from them rather than being critical of them, or, you know, and as they say, you know, what you're critical of a person is something that you need to look at within yourself. So everything's a learning experience, and just to know that we're all so connected, soulmates, twin flames, new age, all that stuff, they're just words, you know, and but it's just what you feel, and that intuition inside you, your gut feeling, your whole body will tell you. Like, you get goosebumps sometimes when you hear things, something's really resonating with you, and it's all about, like, we probably don't even need words. If we could just feel everything and feel into things,
Hmm.
is is so much more beneficial, I think, sometimes, you know. And yeah, just to know we're all connected, we will meet different energies at the right place at the right time to balance our energies out, because it's all about balance in the end. The universe is balanced, it's just that it's got all these aspects of it with different imbalances as such. And I don't mean that in a bad way, just different frequencies, vibrations, and but all, when they're all, you think of it as a whole, we're all just really quite balanced, but we've got all these different energies. So I imagine twin flames and soulmates and things like that just connect with your energy or oppose your energy, but in the end it's all a learning experience anyway, and just to take it on board, enjoy it, and help yourself grow from that experience in any way you can.
Hmm.
Yes, indeed. And now, Gary, your final thoughts.
Well, first off, this mindfulness trend, okay, is a bunch of hogwash. That's the one thing I'm going to say, okay, because there's a lot of people out there that are proclaiming to be so-called experts to help you find this and help you find that and help you understand this, and I'll read your tomorrows and I'll see your yesterdays and all of this. There are those that are true, very rare. Okay, I will say that they do exist, but the majority of it is, it's a money making market. Okay, the mindfulness industry in 2019 was $27 billion in North America. 27 billion US dollars for mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Here and now. The essence of awareness, the essence of who I am, the essence of, I look into a mirror, I see who I am, I accept who I am. The essence of a flame, or the essence of that of another that will join with me in this journey, is not something that I look for. I found it. I found it within. I walk my path. I see who I am. I have self love. I have self respect. I have no ego. Some will say I'm ego. No, I'm not. Spend 5 minutes with me and you'll see that it's not about ego. I give of heart and I give freely of heart. This energy that we contain, all humans, we are connected by heart. Everyone. I'm connected to your heart, Jackie. I'm connected to your heart, Ariel. I'm connected to your heart, Asan. And I'm connected to all the hearts, whether you're
Can't hear you, Gary.
Can't hear you, Gary. Okay,
okay.
Gary is live.
So
Gary is
I
on.
got
Yeah,
back
okay.
in very
Yeah.
quickly. Is that, don't look for another to love you. Don't believe that there's another that will complement or be part of you. Be in love with self. Be well with self. Understand who you are, and now choose to share a journey with another that is complementary to you. Not because of their body or because of their looks or because of the money that they have or because of what they can offer to you. The only thing they can offer to you is the freedom for you to be who you need to be. So be you, let the other be them, find a pathway. Understand that it's three parts: you, the other, and the path in between. Choose.
Well said.
Yes. Yeah, find yourself and you will find your soulmate or find your twin flame. And I think my final thoughts are that it's that energy of the universe that we all, the whole universe, and including the Earth and our solar system, is an energy, and we all of us are connected with each other. And whether we realize it or not, we all of us are connected with each other. And this twin flame and this soulmate connection, when you meet someone and you feel like you have known them forever, and it happens to me sometimes. You visit some place, it's not just people. Sometimes you visit some places and you feel like you have been there, even though it's your first time there, and you feel like that you have been there and you have seen those things, and it is something that it just connects. It just happens, and it's just a feelings, and it helps you to connect. I think it's a sensation. It's a sensory experiences that when you expand your sensory experiences and you connect with the nature and with the earth and with the universe, and that's how I think you, and that at that level you meet with your twin flame or your soulmate. And I think we have a wonderful discussion. And thank you, Ariella Strauss, and thank you, Gary Mork, and thank you, Jackie McGraw, for joining us for your wonderful thoughts. And thank you guys for your comments, Anthony, Kaza, Carol, and many other people. Apologies, I'm not. Uh, so many people for your comments. I'll get back to you as I can after finishing the live, and Gary would answer all of your comments, and Jackie would answer it to you. Thank you so much for you joining us, and I'll see you next week and with some other topic.
Namaste.